Okay, but first, before we even begin to talk about, okay, how then can we ensure, because that will become a big problem. Imagine if all the antibiotics we have for different diseases, our bodies are now beginning to resist it. Because I remember when I was having malaria recently, I went to the hospital and they asked me, what did I take? I said, yes, I took what I normally take. Like, that's self-prescription. But I told them what I took. But it did not work for me, and I took the complete dose. So they had to opt it. They gave me another drug and gave me injections on top. Usually it's either injections or drugs, but this time they had to use both because the malaria was not hearing it.
Okay.
So imagine if we now get to a stage where what we're going to use to treat our ailments are no longer working. That would be a big disaster. So what would you advise us to do to ensure that we keep our bodies in a state that when we take the right antibiotics for the right ailments, it works?
Actually, resistance, before I answer your question, I would just say resistance is a global threat. Because I remember vividly some years back, we in the news, I think CNN or so, we had a case of one American that had tuberculosis, drug-resistant tuberculosis. They've used the drug for it, and that particular strand was resistant to the anti-tuberculosis drug. So that patient has nothing again he can take to cure his tuberculosis. So what they did was to put him under surveillance. He mustn't go with other people. And the issue that day was that he flew from one state in America to another state in a plane where that is enclosed. So you see, it was an issue all over the CNN news that day because he may have infected somebody, and if that strand goes to another person, you see, and that's how they keep spreading it. So that's why I said it's a global threat. So what we should do to prevent such is to follow your prescription strictly. Number one, you avoid self-medication. Then number two, you follow your doctor's or your pharmacist's prescription strictly. When they say take this drug once a day, take it once a day. When they say take it twice a day, take it twice a day. And I also advise to use this medium to advise general public. When you finish, especially from a private hospital, try to get your own pharmacist when they prescribe for you, because most of them, sorry to say, most of them don't have a pharmacist per se. So they use, I don't know who they use, maybe nurse or whatever. And those ones may just, because even in the tertiary hospitals and even primary hospitals where they have pharmacists, when the doctor prescribes, he goes to the pharmacy. They don't just, people think they cost the drug. They assess the drug to see if the prescription is correct. Whether it's correct. Because at times, due to human error, the doctor may say twice a day instead of thrice a day. So with such, it could lead to resistance. Resistance is the misuse of such antibiotics when you don't use it correctly the way they said. Because when they said the drug should be taken 3 times a day, there's what we call therapeutic index.
Okay, what's that?
Half-life of a drug. Let me start with half-life of a drug. The half-life of a drug is the hours it will take a drug in your system to eliminate half of the drug out of the system. So when it gets to that half of the drug concentration in your system, the concentration has come down. You need to reinforce again, because these antibiotics kills the organisms. You understand? They kill the organisms. So the concentration in the body must maintain a particular concentration. So when it goes below that, you take the second dose. That's why you see some drugs you'll be asked to take drug twice, while some once. It depends on the half-life. If the half-life is about 13 hours or 14 hours, does it take 13 hours for half of the drug to leave your system? That can serve you for the whole day. That's why you see they say take a drug once a day. But when it's 3 hours or 4 hours, that drug you can take it 3 times a day, every 8 hours. So when the drug concentration comes down, you refill again. When it comes down, you refill to maintain that concentration that will kill that organism. So you see why when you don't take it correctly, the concentration may come down, and the one available may not be enough to kill the organism, and then the organism will now build its own resistance, because they are also They are also living things. They strive to live.
Survive.
They strive to they strive to survive, even in the midst of you attacking them. Just like humans, they say if you pursue a goat, when it gets to the wall, it will attack you back. So they try, and by so doing, by any means, they tend to even produce something that may even counter that your drug.